The other thing is that when you actually look at what's going on in the passages, they're not talking about authority of one person over another. So the passage where Paul in Ephesians talks about submission is generally mistranslated in English translations. It's translated as an imperative, wives submit to your husband, but there is no actual verb in that verse. What happens is it's one of Paul's typical really long passages where Paul begins by saying that Christians should be doing various things. They should be singing in psalms. They should be praying. And then he says in a participle, submitting to one another, wives to their husbands. But what's really clear is that the submission that Paul is talking about in this passage is a mutual submission of all Christians to one another. Then what he talks about in the rest of the passage is he shows how wives, in the same way that all submit to their husbands, husbands in the same way that all follow Christ's love their wives. But it's really clear that everybody in the passage is being simply asked to do what they're already doing. And so he's not specifically saying only wives submit. He's talking about the manner in which this is done. And again, I'd refer people to the literature on that. Oh, and I also say, again, and I already mentioned that the 1 Corinthians passage, the focus is Paul is balancing the fact that women, that Eve came from Adam, saying men now come from women. The only time, which is really interesting, the only time that the word authority, exousia, is used in that passage is in the passage where Paul says that a woman should have authority over her head. The translations, like the English Standard Version, translate that a woman should have a symbol of authority over her head. There is no word symbol of in the Greek. What the Greek literally says is that the woman should have authority, that is, her own authority over her head. What that means, scholars disagree about. Most of them mean it implies that the woman has the authority to speak, but that she should do so in a manner that recognizes the gender distinctions of the culture by wearing a veil or perhaps a particular hairstyle. But again, one of the things I do in my book is I try to look at the numerous ways in which the passage has been interpreted by numerous scholars and bring them all in. So it's not just simply a matter of this is the right answer, this is the wrong answer. It's, well, here's what the complementarians say, but here are what other scholars say. The complementarian position is just one among many, and here's the reason why it's problematic.
Hey, thank you so much for checking out this video clip from the Delgado Podcast. To get more videos like this, simply subscribe here on YouTube. You can also download the full episode of each show on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, or your favorite podcast player. Take care.